Welcome to another edition of Community Forum. Please, if you haven't already done so, subscribe, press the thumbs up or like button, hit the notification bell, share this with someone you know. And I really appreciate it. Those of you who have been with me from the beginning, well, we're only like 4 months old. So those of you who are with me, I appreciate you. I sincerely appreciate you. So let's get right into this thing called life. I said that I was going to tie it all in. I can't do it in one particular video, but here we go. We was talking about tied in life and relationships and time and confidence, just certain characteristics of life. What makes life? What is life? What's life to you? What's life to me? What is life? And wanted to just try and kind of tie it in. And the only way that I could do it or even put material out is because I'm learning. I have a marvelous teacher in teaching. But let me just say this. You know, we all live on the earth, right? And we come up from the earth. So we take on the same characteristics and attributes that's on the earth. It says, from dust you came and from dust you shall return. That's true. But the dust that it's talking about is the covering, it's the skin and whatnot. It covers who you really are physically. The earth has it submits to a universal law. It's in the universe with 8 other different planets. And technically there are 10 planets, which is the sun, making it the 10th planet, but all of the planets rotate around the sun. The sun light touches each and every planet regardless to how close it is to the sun or how far away it's from the sun, but the sun light causes all of the planets to spin at a terrific rate of speed of 1,037 and a third miles per hour. So you can be as close to the sun as close as possible, that particular planet, or as far as Pluto or Platoon. Now the earth also, this earth has a protection field around it, its atmosphere. And when they want to send things into space and bring it back in, it has to use a certain force to break through that atmosphere or that ozone layer. If not, whatever objects are coming in from space or going out, it will burn the atmosphere, the covering, the ozone layer will burn it up. Well, you and I can't come from the earth and not have that same protection field around us. So whoever comes into our atmosphere, physically even, we can feel their energy and we can ward them off without ever physically touching them. Think about that. The sun, which is a big ball of fire, 14,072 degrees Fahrenheit, spewing out his rays, touching each of the planets, causing them to spin at the same rate of speed by the majesty of the sunlight. Now, just because the universe have a law, I'm not saying that God doesn't exist. No. We're just talking about a universal law, because we want to relate it and show how it is related to each and every one of us. Talking about life in general. But we're not saying, I certainly believe that there's a supreme and superior power that does exist. But as we said before, we are microcosms of the universe. So what exists there also exists within us. There are 9 planets, with the 10th one being the sun. There are 9 main systems in the body, with the brain being the 10th one. And it absolutely operates the same way the sun does. I can say it again. The brain, the blood, it takes the blood from the brain to the heel and back to the brain. That's circular motion, 8 minutes and 20 seconds. It takes the sunlight to touch the earth, 8 minutes and 20 seconds, which is the equivalent of 500 seconds. No coincidence there. None at all. And I just think the universe is a handiwork of the Creator. Life. Sometimes, and I'm skipping around, but sometimes we fast, And many of us that do fast, we fast to lose weight, get back in shape. But technically, fasting is for discipline. I haven't lost my point. I'm going to tie all this up. I'm way over there, just hanging there with me. Fasting is really for discipline purposes. So if you can abstain from something as natural as not eating for a period of time, which technically a fast is 72 hours without any solid foods and just water, perhaps a little coffee, but mainly water. If you can abstain from that for a period of time, then you can abstain from something that is unnatural. It's unnatural to drink alcohol. It's unnatural to smoke cigarettes, nicotine, and these are things that are not natural to us. It's not natural to steal. It's not natural to be a thief. It's not even natural for you and I to lie. What? No. We naturally lie, but it's not natural to lie. I did say we, right? So I'm not trying to cast any excursions on you or be judgmental about you. It's all of us. Sin in itself is a burden on the mind and the body, and is not natural to the natural or the original man and woman. It's not. It affects our thought process and does damage to not just our minds. It affects our brain, but manifests in our appearance and our health every time we sin. I said we, right? Okay. This is why I said that as a person thinketh, so are they. Thoughts are realities that are invisible to the eye, but manifest on a physical level. Our reality becomes what we think. What we think of others and what we think of ourselves becomes our reality. So what feeds our thoughts? What do we put in our minds? What are we feeding our thoughts to produce such thoughts? We have to be cognizant and guard what surrounds us and what tries to penetrate through our atmosphere, or walk our post in a perfect manner, keeping always on the alert. We haven't activated that particular shield of protection. I'm going slow, but I'm going to pick it up. Since our bodies is made from the earth, it covers you. Yeah. Then who are you and I that is in this particular body? Who are you? That's really where I wanted to go all along. Who are you? The real you. The definition of you. not currently who you are made to be or who you are acting, because many of us trying to be a version of someone else. You know, if you watch basketball, they said Kobe Bryant is a version of Michael Jordan. Well, some of you might not watch basketball, but you get the idea. But where did you originate from, and what was the intentions for our purpose in life? You have eyes, but that is not you. You have a brain, but that is not you. You have a heart. You have even a spirit. But that's your spirit. That's your brain. That's just a part of you, but who are you? When you discover who you are, it is at that point you can live out your purpose in life. It is that point when you actually meet the creator of your life, face to face. However, 99% of us perhaps will never reach that point or take that journey, because the path is filled with trials and tests and difficulties that we turn away from. We don't want to take on that responsibility. We don't want to take on that particular challenge. It's like climbing a mountain, and the higher and higher you go, or that we go, the air becomes thinner and thinner and thinner, and it becomes more difficult to breathe. Even though we're going higher, we're climbing higher. Or it's like taking a test and passing the test. Then you're in the first grade, second grade, and as you continue to pass tests, the knowledge that you receive becomes greater and greater, and we're responsible for what we know. So many times we turn away. We don't want to take on the responsibility, so we shy away from the knowledge. We shy away from the tests, the trials, the difficulties, the tribulations. We turn away from it because it's just too hard for us. And then when we fall back on tests, we have to take the test over and over and over again. And we never graduate in life because we continuously fall back and turn away from the trial, the test, and the difficulties in life that we are made to conquer. And this is where some of us, even to the point, we get to the point where we commit suicide. Suicide meaning to kill oneself, because life becomes hard. It becomes difficult. There's nothing in life that we are unable to challenge and not overcome. But it becomes so hard, so we commit suicide, either through some form of unnatural means, slowly, whether it's smoking a cigarette, drinking the alcohol, whatever it is. That's the slow death. The quick death is just popping some pills and getting up on out of here. And think about this. It's been trillions of years since you and I have come. Think of how long after we leave, how long it will be after we leave. Man, look, there's no invention that was made or created that was done without a purpose. Your life is not without purpose. The automobile was invented with a purpose in mind. And therefore, after the automobile was invented with purpose, it was given instructions, a manual of instructions on how to operate the automobile, but it came from the mind, and then it manifests in a physical reality, and then you were given instructions on how to operate a Ford car or whatever type of vehicle you drive. It could be a boat. It can be clothing. Someone could, have a line of clothing, and they made this clothing put it out there, line of clothing, and then they say, okay, well, here's some instructions. You have to dry clean this. Everything that's made or created, made meaning it started from something, created meaning it started from nothing, is given instructions. It comes with purpose and given instructions. And when the instructions is not followed, it is at that point it has an adverse effect or damage. It's the same with life. There's a purpose that you and I have in life. And when we don't, well, let me say it like this. There's life, but there's instructions already out there for you and I to live by. We wasn't just we just wasn't haphazardly, some of us think that God had a bad day and made this person black, this person Latin. No, Latin. No. This person short, tall, this whatever. No. You just wasn't created. A bad day didn't happen when you came. Even though I know you and I think that, but that's not the case. We just haven't linked on to our purpose in life. And we do that by following instructions. Now, some instructions are just natural. It's just natural, certain things you just don't do in the light. You automatically know not to do it, so you do it in the dark. But when we go contrary to those instructions and we don't fulfill, our purpose in life, and then we don't find a reason for existence. See, a happy man or woman is one who's fulfilling their purpose in life. How do you do that? Well, there are instructions that are given. It's not only don't lie, don't cheat, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. But what do good? And how do you do good? By servicing others and servicing yourself. Do I need to say that again? So when we don't do that, there's a deterioration that takes place, and it starts in the mind. And then it eventually consumes over a period of time. It starts consuming the body over a period of time. And then the deterioration takes place. And then you can see within sight the end of life. Not just the end of this body, this flesh. But I'm talking about life, the end of you and I. All right. So look, I don't want to be long. I just wanted to give a part one and try to tie all of this up. But look, time, we know motion. If I take my hand and move it from have it at this point, it's no time. But when I move it, we begin to calculate time. So if I move it from here to here, that's how you calculate time. But if you're here and you're not moving, you're wasting time. There's no time for something that's not in motion. I just want us to think. And so look, love, that's a principle upon which emotions stem from. If you love life, now hate is an emotion. So you have to hate that which is against your own life. You can't love everybody. I mean, whether you're a believer in God or not, but I'll just throw it out there. God didn't love it. He killed a few people. I mean, Go read Sodom and Gomorrah. And I don't want to get religious into it, religion per se in it. I try to stick with spirituality so that we can communicate. I have my beliefs and you have yours. But if we keep it on a spiritual level, I believe we can come together and I can understand what you say and you possibly can understand what I'm saying. And we can dialogue. But love is a principle. Love is giving a person freedom, justice, equality. So again, to end this, in order to maintain life, in order to not start the deterioration of time and life, because once your time is out, your life is gone. Trust and believe that. But if you lack faith and you don't have confidence, having fear or fearing to fail or lacking strength, laziness, cowardice, indebted, grief-stricken, niggardly, having anxiety from within, then you will live the life that you're living today and that I'm living today. Debt is a form of slavery. It is. You have to recognize these ills of self and know how to start first forgiving self, treating self, loving self. That's where it starts. That's where life starts. Then you build with first atoning with yourself, servicing yourself, then atoning and servicing others that are worthy, because not everyone is worthy of your service and your time. All right. Look, it's all about the service of life, and if you are serving life, life will serve you. We don't exist, nothing exists without a reason and or purpose in life. And we weren't just created for just sport and play. So I thank you for hanging out with me. I know we have to do a part 2. We definitely want to talk about vote. I forgot about the vote, but it's interesting. It's interesting. Here in America, in the United States, for instance, you say every vote count, right? These lying politicians, if every vote count, then tell me something. At least here in America. In 2000, you had Bush against Gore. Gore got the popular vote, which means he got more people to vote for him that believed in him and his program. But Bush won the White House on the collegiate vote. Doesn't make sense. This system is skewed. Same thing with Trump and Clinton. Hillary, you know Hillary. She got the popular vote. She got more people to vote for her than he did, but he lost. She lost, pardon me. See, it's tricky. Politics is real tricky. And, these people promise you, I'm going to erase student loans. I'm going to do this. Some state senator I was talking to was, I don't know. They make promises that they can't keep. Everybody's going to get rid of crime. Everybody's going to get rid of hunger. Everybody's going to do this, going to do that, going to do this. Stop. No. I tell you what, do for self. So I'm going to stop right here. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Enjoyed this time. Didn't even really mean to be this long. But I wanted to try to tie everything in. It all starts with you, who you are. And we got to go into who you are because we didn't answer that question, but we got you thinking along the right way. So thank you. Be safe. Peace. I'm out. Stay tuned for the next edition of Community Forum, and I'll see you there. Be safe now. Peace.